Have you ever felt that spine-tingling sensation? The one that tells you someone is watching you, even when you're completely alone. When I decided to move into my aunt's old lakeside house, all I wanted was peace and quiet. The first thing I noticed was the massive reservoir right across the road. It was calm, silent, and strangely beautiful, especially at night. But that all changed on the second night when I saw her. A woman standing perfectly still at the edge of the water, staring directly at my bedroom window. At first, I told myself it was just my imagination, until she appeared again and again, and the night I finally gathered the courage to find out who she was. Everything I thought I knew about this quiet little town shattered into a million pieces. My name is Era, and I had moved to my aunt's house for a few months to study for my university exams. It seemed like the perfect escape, peaceful, quiet, and miles away from the chaos of the city. The house was perched on a hill, giving me a clear view of that wide, dark, glassy reservoir, which was always covered in a thin layer of mist in the early mornings. The first night was completely normal. I unpacked my things, set up my desk, and opened the window to let in some fresh air. The view was like something out of a postcard. But on the second night, something felt off. As I sat by the window, trying to review my notes, my eyes were instinctively drawn to the water, and that's when I saw a shape, a person, a woman. She was standing at the very edge of the reservoir, her body angled directly toward my window. She wasn't moving, she wasn't walking, she was just standing there, as if she was waiting for something or someone. I laughed nervously. I had to be tired. It was exactly 11:47 p.m. when I risked a look outside. She wasn't standing by the water anymore. She was closer. She was now standing at the halfway point between the reservoir and my house. She hadn't walked there, she had just appeared. Something inside me screamed, "Do not go near that window." I slammed the curtains shut. The next morning, I tried to rationalize it all. Maybe it was just a local who liked late-night strolls. Maybe she was harmless. Maybe she was looking at the water, not at me. But the fifth night destroyed every single excuse I had, because this time, she wasn't outside. I saw her reflection in my window glass. I hadn't even opened the curtains. There was no way I could see outside. But there, in the faint reflection on the pane, was the figure of the woman standing right behind me, as if she was inside my room. I spun around so fast I nearly fell. The room was empty. My heart was hammering against my ribs. I didn't sleep a wink that night. The next day, I knew I had to find out who she was. I went down to the local market and started asking around. Most people just shook their heads, but one older man paused, his eyes narrowing. "You're staying in the house on the hill, near the reservoir?" I nodded. He leaned in and lowered his voice. "A long time ago, a girl lived in that very house. One winter night, she just disappeared. Then, the doorknob began to turn. Once, twice, then it stopped. I lay there, frozen, until the sun came up, when I finally found the courage to open the front door. There was a trail of wet footprints leading away from my porch. They went in a straight line directly toward the reservoir. I packed my bags that same day. Before I drove away, I looked one last time toward the water, and she was there, standing, watching. She didn't look angry or dangerous. She just looked lost, as if she was waiting for someone, anyone, to finally understand her story. So if you ever find yourself in a peaceful, quiet place, pay attention to the small signs, the shadows in your peripheral vision, the sounds that don't quite belong. Sometimes the scariest stories aren't about monsters or ghosts. They're about the people who never got to finish their own story. And sometimes they're still waiting for someone to listen. Thanks for watching.